more impressive to have a robot out there on stage than a kid pulling a little rope on casters. If you notice in the practice area today, the kids have the t-shirt shooters. That was actually their competition robot from last year. After the competitions were over, they cut their big arm mechanism off and they put those t-shirt shooter things out there. Now they take it to football games and all the soccer games and they drive it around, they shoot t-shirts into the crowd. Things like that will get your school behind you. It will promote science and technology, and that's what we're really supposed to be all about anyway. Robots are secondary. It's about kids getting engaged in this stuff. Time. It's hard to give up. You'll need to donate a lot. I don't know if I said it already. I think I stopped counting after 500 hours last year. But I don't want to scare you. But that's because I'm willing to do it. My team meets like almost every day. They have a lot of fun with it. But it is so worth it. For the teachers in the room, like I teach physics, and so I can teach those kids, the coefficient of friction, and we can do problems and we can do labs. But in this setting, you develop a much closer relationship with those students. You can teach them something in a much deeper level because you're spending 2-3 hours a day on this object, which they're way more focused. You get 50 minutes in a classroom to cover a ton of stuff. In robotics, you can spend 2-3 hours talking about gearing. I mean, at the end of that 2-3 hours, they're going to have a much deeper, richer conceptual idea of why gearing works. I teach it in 20 minutes in class. Here's a gear, you take the radius of this one, the radius of that one, it's a ratio, that's a gear ratio. This is how you calculate a bunch of problems, because that's in my curriculum what I need to get done in the classroom. Here, they can see that basic idea that we talk about in the classroom and apply it, and they're focused for a long period of time. It's very rewarding to do that when you see kids looking at a robot and they go, this isn't going to work, the coefficient of friction on this floor is way too high for that to work. And you just, as a teacher, you just go, it's a coefficient of friction. It's a coefficient of friction, yes. And that is why it is worth it, because you really do get that bond with them. They'll bond with you. They'll come back 2-3 years later and they'll visit you and be like, oh man, I'm so glad I was part of robotics. I'm now at MIT doing this, and that. The first team I worked with, I got a kid, Jake. He's off at MIT right now, and he actually found me at Issaquah. And I wasn't even the mentor at Newport. I just helped out once in a while. He tracked me down. I switched schools, showed up in my room. He's doing great, and you bond with those kids on a much deeper level. It's really rewarding, which is why I don't care that I don't get paid. And then my last thing is robot widows. That's my wife. She said she was a robot widow because I spent so much time that it was like I wasn't there. And so the team went and made her own. It kind of came to be like this little team joke. So the team went out and made her a shirt. She is an IRS widow. And there you go. She's a robot widow. But she's very understanding. Hopefully your spouses will do the same. And she wears this at the regionals, and she gets just as involved. So you give up some personal stuff, but it's worth it for sure. End of show.
Thank you.
Just 4 minutes over. Got questions?
I think we all need to give you a hand.